Good morning.
Good morning,
What is going
afternoon,
on?
evening, whenever you're watching. How are you?
Yes. So,
Happy week.
we are off to an amazing start here.
Come on.
So, okay, today we'll put out our subject first and then get
Okay,
into the highs.
yes,
But today we are
yes.
going to talk about the great word control.
Control.
Anyway, so you may say hi nicely to the people now. All your your lines and cliches.
I should sit here and not say anything and let you say, and then I'll say, hey, what's up? What's up, everybody?
What's up?
We hope you're doing well, that you are thriving, that you are loving life, loving yourself, loving people, and that you are enjoying wherever you are at.
Right. And
Being who you are.
and changing the
changing
world,
the
knowing
world,
that you
yes.
being you in your space
Yes.
and being intentional
Yeah.
with ideas is changing the world. So
Yes. So, of course, as always, say hi to us. Let us know where you're watching from, whether you're watching replay, whatever. All the good stuff, right?
That's
Say hi,
what you're
have
into.
questions, comments. You guys have been really
Yeah.
good. Saying hi and just letting us know, hey, what about this? Or I have a question about this. So keep it coming. Keep it coming.
all right, cool.
So control, baby.
Yes. So what is the first thing you think of when we talk about control? I guess I don't know.
You better set the stage.
Better set the stage.
Because he's gonna be
Sorry.
like, what? No.
Yeah. So all
What
right.
do you think of?
When I say control, first of all, it's never. We're not talking about control over people.
No. No,
Because
right,
that's I'm
Never.
not into that.
No.
Of course, the title of the post was "Control, Good, Bad, or" and
Right.
question mark. So we're not talking about controlling people. First of
No.
all, that's not where we're at. So the thing I bring up with control is a lot of kind of what's talked about, and this ties into personality and things as well. Is people are saying, "Hey, I need to give up control." Whatever of my life. When we talk about the kingdom of God, we say, hey, God's in control. I shouldn't be in control of my life. Some of those things, you know, stop taking back control and all that. And
Right.
So when you think of control.
So for me, it's like holding on to things, and so when I hear the word control, it immediately I think of what should I let go of.
Sure.
That's what came up in my thinking of control. You want to know everything, have all the answers for someone like me, and
so we
that
kind
makes
of
sense?
champion a lot, like, you shouldn't have control. And then I talk with people,
Yes.
and they're saying, yeah, I'm giving up control. But so here's my thing.
Yeah. Yes.
At jury duty, I was on jury duty yesterday. So I had a lot of time just hanging around. I was reading some of Miles Monroe again, and it triggered something because in there he was talking about rulership, right? That all humanity was, because we were created in the image and likeness of God, we have this desire to rule, not over people.
Yes.
Right? That rulership, that domination, controlling people is a little bit not a complete mindset.
Well, that was the only thing. If you look in scripture, you let us make men in our own image and likeness, and let them have dominion over. Was never over.
Yeah, I didn't actually want to go down that track.
Whatever.
I mean, it's true. It wasn't over humanity,
No.
but we want to leave that out completely. But the whole point was that there is an innate wiring, desire, and creation in all of humanity to have rulership, which means to, in essence, have control over, not in a dominating space, but just to begin to serve, to govern, to produce well in things. And then as I was thinking about that, I was like, yeah. So I go to personalities and look at that. And the thing is, when we champion, especially in the church, like give up control.
Yeah, let go.
A lot of
Let go and let God. That's like a phrase.
Sure.
Keep going.
So
I just thought of that.
there's a certain truth in that. Like I'm in a relationship with Father, and He sees so much more than me. And so yeah, let me not try to hold everything in close.
Sure.
But before we get there, looking at personalities, there's actually, and it's mainly in the church champion that let go of control, or that planning, that figuring things out is championed by the creators and the advancers.
Yes.
More the D's and the I's who
The
love
uncertainty.
the spontaneous and the uncertainty of life,
Yes.
which is part of their gift. But what it does to then the refiners and the executors who like to plan and stabilize things, it says, no, you should just wing everything, throw it out. Like, don't use your strength of planning. Don't use your strength of figuring things out. Enjoy the uncertainty.
Yeah.
So yes, we need that gift that you guys bring.
Yes.
We need to experience some of that, but we also need the stability and the strategizing and planning that comes into play.
Yeah.
And so don't hear what I'm not saying, but also hear what I'm saying. It all gets lumped together.
Yeah. But how do you do that? So then, so in how you're describing control,
Yes.
then that's a good thing, because you were innately created, whether it's a need for uncertainty or if it's a need of certainty. There is I would call it dominion. You exercising.
Right. I'm trying to.
Okay, I get it. But then my question is, should we call it control? Is there a better way of calling that?
Well, that's not. Yeah, probably.
You know what I'm
but
saying.
the point is, I want to help empower. We want to empower you. If you're in the space of like, I'm giving up control, I need to give up control. I need to give up control to get into a more healthy or balanced approach to that, or a centered approach, where it's like, okay, so here's the deal. The D's, the creators, they are also going to control, right? And that's wired within us. So what they're going to do is you guys produce results. You produce action. And so you control in a positive sense. Let's look at a positive sense. Yeah. Now, it can be twisted negative. I mean, we all can use it negatively.
But that's what that means.
And I'll give my thought on that too. But they control by driving things forward, by creating action and results.
Yeah.
All right.
Which is their strength. Like,
it's their strength.
Amazing.
But so what is spoken a lot though is to the systemized people and the planners, give up control, be uncertain.
Yeah.
But the people who love uncertainty are driving in and kind of controlling by that uncertainty, which is their strength of pioneering and figuring things out. The advancers, the I's, they control by communication. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So they communicate. To control as in to rule or upgrade to
make it better,
to govern in a healthy
have
sense,
a better experience, an upgraded experience that is going to change your life
in whatever space, right?
Yes.
And then you have the C's, the refiners, control by slowing things down, trying to bring excellence, and making sure things are right. Yeah. And kind of strategizing the process. And then you have the executors, the S's controlled by bringing stability, bringing things that are going to last long term and stabilize. So what you find is all personality styles, all people have this innate wiring, healthy wiring to control or to rule or look after, to tend, which is good.
That is good. Yes.
And then all the way that personality styles have been, defined, or how they measure things, they all control in different senses, but some kind of promote more of the other side. And so then I feel like a lot of the refiners, the executors, the C's and S's, the stabilizers start feeling bad for their desire to figure things out, which is their strength,
Yes.
and to accomplish things.
So, this is just a thought I have, or a question. Since creators, D's, and advancers, I's, are more, how do I say this? Upfront. You may have a better way of saying what I'm trying to say. So please go ahead and do that. Probably. He's probably going to be like, I don't really agree with that. But like, as in, we're all leaders, but because they are pioneers, I don't know if I'm saying all of this right, but like blazing a path that might not be there because of their innate wiring. They see the big picture. They see something as if it was already, but it is not yet. And therefore their gifting and calling, anointing, call it whatever you want, is going to create and advance something that needs to come into being. Uncertainty, communicating, driving that side of control, where the refiners and the executors, C and S, are more reserved, on the background, not seen, but they, in their strengths and the way they express and exercise control in a good way, how if this is seen and this is unseen,
You gotta speed it up a little, baby.
yeah, I'm trying to, like, how do you make that go in unison so everybody, or I don't know what I'm saying. Finn, you finished my...
No, I don't even know what you're saying because you're like talking all over the place.
Well, because
so what's your actual question?
You're saying, because
I get what I'm saying. What's your actual question?
If they are leading and they are more upfront and making it happen.
No.
Yeah,
I
see
mean,
that I know it. That's not the way I should say it.
What's your actual question?
Yeah, I don't know.
So you weren't asking a question?
For you C's and S's, not to feel like that. But if we are in our innate design who we are, this is how we exercise control. So how do you...
No, what I'm saying is allowing each person to see that there's different ways of controlling or producing, and that giving up control in your style is not necessarily the answer.
Yes.
So
yes, sure.
We need all of what each of you and your unique styles bring in your personality, and how you generate, produce things, upgrade life for everyone.
Yeah.
Like, that's amazing. And so we need it. We just we need pieces that are different from us. Like, we need to allow and embrace pieces, but also be okay saying, hey, if you're champion, let's just pioneer, push through, figure it out, wing it. Let's get it done and produce something, which is amazing.
Yeah. It
doesn't mean that if you're on the other side trying to figure out the how and like, what can I start and finish and do next, that's completely wrong.
Sure.
And so
I hear what you're saying.
You can, yes.
That answers my question.
Your question that wasn't a question. No, but the flip side is, but I'm not saying we need to hold everything so tightly.
No.
That's the difference. Like, because what happens is then we come back to another definition of control, or what a lot of people are saying when they say, let God do it, or let go and let God, is, I am afraid and I will operate out of my fear. Let me hold on to every piece, because I can't trust Father God is good. I can't trust that I may not see the big picture. And if I don't see the big picture, if I follow him into this, or I step into this, or I make them even make a mistake or whatever, that Father's not going to work it out for me in the end.
Yeah.
So that's the difference. When in your personality style, if you're operating out of belief and faith and the strength that you're bringing and who you are, and you're producing great things. You're bringing the strength of who you are to the table. If you're operating out of fear in that, you're actually shutting down and shrinking yourself.
Yeah.
And you're holding on, surviving, and then that's where you may have like the not so positive effects. So for me, my strength is to bring a system. My strength is to plan and structure. If I'm scared that if I don't plan everything perfectly and get it in space, there will be, failure or lack. That is when it produces, ultimately produces that because I hold in out of fear. But if out of belief I say, hey, I'm going to plan a structure. This is my gift. This is part of the greatness I bring that's inside of me. And if I don't have everything planned exactly right, or everything doesn't go exactly according to plan, there's still amazing things that'll come out of that. And I can journey in relationship with Father through even some of the uncertainty or the unexplained, but I still bring my strength and plan in as much as possible.
That's good. So out of faith and not out of fear.
Out of faith and belief, out of your strength, rather than pulling back. And that's where, when we do assessments with people, one thing that gets highlighted is kind of the fears. And so what that means is when those areas are pushed or not received, you're not able to generate who you are. But what you need to realize is it a situation where I can make the best decisions for myself and everyone involved and we just get through? Or is this a constant environment where I can't be who I am, and therefore maybe I should remove myself? So it's two different things. Like if I react in a moment out of fear, I may reject some of the good possibilities or the process or potential or the journey with Father that I'm getting into, right? So for me...
but that might ultimately be because they don't understand the differences and how that can be celebrated, or what?
What do you mean?
Can
you give an example?
I'm just saying what you just said. When you feel like maybe it is to remove yourself if it's pushed and you can't, and it's shrinking you. Sure.
So let's take you, for example. You're a natural born motivator, communicator. You inspire, communicate, show belief. You have ideas, right?
Yes.
But
all of the above.
So some of your fears of that personality is social rejection, which means nobody wants to listen to you or connect to you, or which ultimately means nobody wants to be inspired or motivated, which is what you bring.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So a situation could pop up where somebody doesn't want to listen, or it's a team meeting and somebody else has more information or the thing, where they need the floor to speak. Mm-hmm. And so for someone who's a motivator and communicator and inspirer, they're like, well, I have to sit here for an hour and listen to somebody else communicate. Mm-hmm. Or if I say something and motivate people, what if people don't agree with me and reject me? So that's where your fear could be touched. Right. Or you could look at that and say, all right, this is a great situation, though, for somebody else to talk. If I just relax, instead of saying, no, I don't want to be a part of this. This is not an opportunity for me.
That would be fear.
Right. Yeah. Well, and that's where you look, okay? Well, if I manage myself here and empower myself and say, hey, no, they're not rejecting my gift. This is just a great moment for somebody else. Yeah. Or just because they didn't agree with what I said doesn't mean they're rejecting me. Yes. Or they didn't take all of my ideas. I brought 20 ideas and they picked one. That didn't mean they're rejecting me, right?
Yeah.
And you manage yourself in that moment and make great decisions. Instead of react out of the fear or frustration, you make great decisions. Then your gift is still involved in that situation. You're still there for possible opportunities that come, right? And you're serving the world. But if you're in an environment where they're always like, Esther, be quiet. Esther, we don't want to hear what you have to say. No, keep your ideas to yourself. Right. And continually, either in a relationship or a situation, well, then your gift is never being expressed and accepted. Sure. then you may have to say, okay, this doesn't continue. They don't actually want what I have here.
Yeah, right.
And therefore, it might be better for me to, get a different job. Or,
if you're
they're giving me all the details and saying, sit down and read these papers and mark these things and don't want me to talk to anyone. Well, you're going to end up like the greatness and the gift that's inside of you that's going to empower and upgrade the world around you is going to be left dormant.
Yeah, and you don't want me to organize your life or plan or create systems so that everything flows well. That's not who I am. Yeah.
And again, it may say, okay, this is a 1 week project and that's a role I have to play.
Right.
And you find a way to get through, and that's where you manage the thing. And so you can operate out of your strength and belief and the gift and greatness that you bring versus reacting out of the fear. And so.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's where with control, we are all born with an innate desire to have governance or rulership, which is upgrading and serving and tending and promoting the world around us. Again, not controlling people.
No, and that's where I think, because it is in your design, we need to talk about that more in the positive way that it is. Even the word rule, like you were born to rule, that can have a negative thing because you're like, do you think you're all that and you're going to be the Louis on top or whatever? Well, that's not what that means, right? And even though sometimes we understand that, if we say certain things and it still always highlights the negative, then we need to highlight the positive. Try to get rid of it in your design. Literally, though, I mean, especially in the church, there are certain things that we try to get rid of, which actually you're not called to get rid of because you were designed with it. However, you need to know that it's good and what is good about it.
Sure.
True?
I think so.
I just came alive for 1 minute.
Yeah, 1 minute.
Boom.
Only 1 minute. I did too much talking today.
No.
You weren't alive.
No, it's good. Literally, that's why we started the way we started. If you weren't on at the beginning, because he was ready. I came in.
Ready.
He's like, "Are you ready? Let's."
She didn't even know what we were talking about.
No, what? Okay.
And that's why I used the word control, because it triggers things. Because people, there's been negative control people in life, in countries, in the church, all that stuff. And then there's also the side of
which is that's not,
right. And then there's also the side negative control, but there's also the healthy governance. If you're promoting people, if you're making life better for people, that empowering people, that's different. And then I'll have to read it later. It's a little too long, but I'll read it and respond to that then. But so and that's the thing.
Yeah.
Recognizing, hey, you're actually come with a positive control, and you don't have to throw it all out all of the time. But we encourage you to operate more in belief and faith versus fear in your personality style, and recognize, hey, we all ultimately, whether we know it or not, begin to control the situation in a different aspect. And so when one person champions, hey, be free, do whatever, or the other person says, hey, let's create some stability here, it's not actually saying that you are wrong in your approach, and so just walk with Father. Life. Remember, life is that journey with Father and that relationship. We're born for a relationship, and so there are times maybe where you have to hold things a little more loosely than other times, right? Because he's leading you into a space that you may not feel qualified for, or may be different. But it doesn't mean you can't show up in your strength. And so just, I'm not saying one or the other. Don't throw everything out or hold everything in. Just having this approach and saying, all right, you know what? I can bring my strength and my greatness and my uniqueness to the table and add value in that. And there are times where, I can push past what I bring and allow myself to experience or be a part of something else. That's another strength and style.
Yeah, and maybe you don't know that about yourself, what that is, what those strengths are, or how it would be in a good positive way, the way you would have control in a good way. We can help you with that. If you have questions and you don't know that about yourself, or there's somebody else in your relationship circle, whatever, that you would like to understand, hello, that's why we're here. JasonTeweaver.com.
What's up?
Lots of things that we can help you with, and let us know if that is you that needs help with that.
Yeah. So,
That's good.
As always,
Yes.
you're amazing, baby.
Yes,
Cheers.
you are too.
And you guys
you
are awesome.
Yes.
Keep recognizing and owning
Yeah.
your unique style, your approach to life, your personality style, and the way you're wired.
Your
It's
design.
your
design. Know your design and walk in that, because there is so much life in that for you and for others and for the world to change it. So,
That's it.
boom.
Cheers.
See you.